Foottrading.co.uk is now live and site areas are being rolled out all the time. Icons are live, fluctuations are live, chem styles are live, and you guys will make millions of coins. We've got guys in the Discord that are making tons of coins, selling them, making profit from using the site. Tournament areas are also about to go live for you guys to win competitive prizes. It's going to be absolutely awesome. You'll never need to buy FIFA points again, we guarantee it. So check out the site, but for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below. I hopefully will be live on Twitch directly after this video, so click the link down below to get involved. Again, helping you guys trade and make as many coins as possible. If you can take the time to drop a like and a comment, it makes a huge difference to the videos. Thank you to everyone that's done that so far. Yeah, please get involved in it. It does make a massive difference, like I say. Check out the website, and never has it been more pertinent to check out the website, because basically what we're going to talk about today is this relentless need from EA to rinse the coins out of your club. Okay, it's become ridiculous the levels that EA are going to absolutely wipe out the market and make everything worth less. It is why the website is so successful, because we don't teach investments. We used to put investments on the website and we took them off. We got rid of them because it's been obvious for the last year and a half that all EA are interested in doing is taking your coins, stripping the value from your club. It's why I tend to only run untradeable for my team, so I don't lose coins. It's why I do a lot of SBCs. And on the website, we show you guys how to instant flip, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, some people on the website were hit a little bit with the market drop yesterday. So some of the guys that really go hard into icons, those sort of cards got hit a bit. But again, most of them just held off, let the market rise back up again. Those guys that traded on the market last night with Hunters and Shadows have done really, really well. If you did exactly what you're supposed to do, which is to snipe them and bid on them and get them as low as the minimum price for Hunters and Shadows, those cards have flowed and done really well since then. So I can't stress it enough. If you are trading, if you're in a different Patreon, come and try out for trading. We will help you smash it out. I guarantee you it. Dan was in the Discord until 4 o'clock yesterday morning helping everyone. Absolutely incredible. But we have a little look at the market. I'm going to show you why I've bought a couple of cards that I've bought, so you can see my thought process behind why I'm buying what I'm buying, okay? So I'm just going to show you the cards and what they've done. So Tonali's the first one I want to look at. He's actually held up pretty damn well. Massive drop here when everyone panicked, but forget that as an anomaly. Imagine that line goes to here instead, because that's just a massive bit of panic. He dropped off and he bounced back quite significantly, and Tonali's done okay. Why is that? He's one of the only cards in his league that fits this sort of pacey centre or CDM criteria, so he's going to hold up in value. He's going to do okay in value, and this is where you've got to start thinking about what you're buying and what you're selling. And I've said this before. I told you in the last video what would happen was that all the low tier cards were going to get packed like crazy and they were going to get hammered, okay? Absolutely hammered. And pretty much everyone below this rate got rinsed last night. Llorente, the next one I'm going to look at. Again, look at the hourlies. He's up at 17k. He got as low as 9.6k on average. He's bounced back to 12. So most people were smart enough and they would have bought in and around this sort of mark here, the 12k mark, maybe a little bit higher. They've done all right. They've not done badly. Rashford, okay, 180k. But look what's happened to him. He's come down from there, from 199, dropped significantly. But again, more safe because he's higher rated, higher value. He's got more value. I said Neymar was someone that I didn't like yesterday because he's now Saudi League. He's up here. Well, he's up here, in fact, earlier on in the day. Look at him now. He's on the floor. On the absolute floor. I've said it a million times before. You've got to have a reason to buy these cards. Kolo Muani, I made the point you had to let him go, get as low as possible, because otherwise you're going to get stung. What happened? His low was 9.9 and he's bounced back since then. If you bought in the low, you've done really well. But I saw Patreon groups on Twitter yesterday calling out, like, oh yeah, these cards aren't going to go any lower and whatnot. Based upon what? What did you base that upon? Because the market was still going down and down and down and down and down. So even for me, I bought a couple of icons. I'm going to get stung on one, make profit on the other, which would be fine. But I believe I was smart with my buys yesterday. Because one of the cards that I bought into was Donnarumma, okay? Donnarumma has basically got down to fodder price. So when you're talking about not making losses, you've got to think, well, how do I sort of minimise my risk? And what happened yesterday was I saw Donnarumma and I was like, well, what's happened to him? And he went down to fodder price, basically. Now, this is one of the best goalkeepers on the game. Previous years, he would have been far more expensive than this because he had so many different links. He obviously linked to Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, Well, this year links to Dembele, to be fair. But he had these big things to hold him up. So this year he's not quite at the same value. Nowhere near. But he dipped yesterday to fodder value. And again, fodder value there. Went back up again. Fodder value there. And I bought into him at like 11k. Maybe I think some of them were less than that. I'll show you in a second. And he's bounced back a little bit. But now all I've really got to do is sit and chill and let him rise a bit. And I've made a bit of profit per card. And the other card that I bought into late last night, I sat there off stream. I said, I'm not going to spend all my coins. Was Lloris. Now, this is updated 6 hours ago. I paid about 1.5 to 2k for him. And again, FootWiz isn't updating at the moment, but you can see he's dipped down. And at that point, look, they've lost all their, basically, all their data because they've taken themselves down for a minute to sort out some stuff. It's the best website out there, but they are trying to improve it as much as they possibly can. Go look at a few icons. If we look at Ashley Cole, go take a little quick look at him. Again, one of the icons that I said yesterday would do relatively well in terms of managing to hold his value. Yesterday's video was all about how cards will hold their value. And Ashley Cole's one of those ones who's done pretty well. That's a really nice steady graph. And I said it, if you've got to check and you've got to keep an idea on these cards that are doing well, and every time there's a bit of panic, they're not being affected by it. Griezmann, we'll have a little look at Greaves. What I suggested in the video, I said I would be wary of him because I think he was overinflated and overhyped, and he's dipped off quite heavily. People talked about him a lot, which meant that he had a massive amount of value. What's happened? He dipped off and bounced back. But if you waited, and this is the vital thing that I keep saying, you have to wait for the low. Now, this low here is an anomaly again. Ignore this low here. You've got to wait for the low point. You've got to wait until these cards stop dropping and then buy in. Now, the problem you've got is at about 8 p.m. every single day, it feels like the market calms down because the cards sort of stop dropping and the supply seems like it dries up, but it's never the low point. And I've got to the point now where I've realised to stop buying on Fridays. Fridays seem to be the point where EA are like, right, we're going to rinse your coins this week. Like, you look at like the Diaby, right? This card should be astonishingly expensive. It's at 40,000 coins. It is a 95 pace Premier League winger. So realistically, this should be a really expensive card. And again, he got down as low as 32 at 3 o'clock this morning before bouncing back. And this 3 o'clock thing, this sort of early morning thing, it seems to be a recurring theme this year. Cards hold value, they drop a little bit. Again, like I say, 8 o'clock, you see that little level out, and then they keep going back down again. And it happened last week, and it's happened this week. But what they do is they then bounce back. So if you're looking to make coins, at the moment, you've got to stay up this late to get yourself a chance of buying in at the points that you want to buy into them. And that's not easy in any way, shape or form to sit there and be like, right, I'm going to stay awake till 3 o'clock in the morning to buy into these cards. So what you're having to have to do now is basically not buy on Fridays if you can't do that. And really the value is in flipping during the week. That's where the value is at. In buying and selling cards as the week progresses. And that's why I've been trying to show you in the videos for like the last 10 days. It's all about flipping, getting in and getting out, getting in and getting out. And when you think the card's at its lowest, it's probably not at its lowest. You still got to try and snipe. The more you do that, the easier it will get. And the more you start to realise this is what the market's doing. But I do have to say, it is disgusting the way that EA are insisting on stripping everyone's clubs of any value. We are, 2 weeks into the game, really, 2 full weeks into the game. And this is what we're seeing for cards that normally would hold so much more of a value than this. And to me, it's damning of the game in terms of the transfer market and whatnot. And the fact that EA are trying their hardest to make people lose coins. It is damning of the game. Because when you look at this game, every time that you guys buy a team for your weekend league, if you're running a tradable team, you're losing 20-30% of it every single time. In fact, in some cards, it's even more than that. You're losing 20-30%, which is not acceptable. That should not be happening. And it's going to continue to happen with this tirade of promo cards coming out continually hitting prices of other cards. But it's become a war on, in my opinion, the user of the game. This game has been overwhelmingly positive since it came out. Evolutions are fantastic. The gameplay, hit and miss, but for me it's still good compared to where it's been before. Content has been decent to start with without being incredible. But this is becoming a problem and it's becoming unacceptable. And everybody needs to learn to adapt to this market and the way that EA do things. Everyone needs to learn to adapt to it. Because as it currently stands, it's not sustainable to be buying in. These patrons that are calling investments, I don't know what they're doing. I really don't understand it because realistically, most of these investments haven't gone well for these patrons this year. We've got loads of guys who have come over from patrons to the site because they've lost dozens of coins every single week. So I can't stress this enough. When it comes to Fridays, you really need to wait and hold your coins. You need to be certain that the low point has been hit. And every time it's happened, the low point hasn't been that 8 o'clock period. It's been way later than that. Way later than that. So you have to hold your coins, in my opinion, until you get to the point where, I guess, you've got the bare minimum risk. I don't think there's ever going to be no risk, but the bare minimum risk. As we look at it here, basically, I've got the Gerrard and the Owen. Gerrard will do all right. Owen will be a small loss on, without a doubt. But Donnarumma's here, 11.5, 11k. I'm fine with that. There's no loss on that. The Lloris is here. We've got loads of Llorises. The reason I brought into him was my brother called him maybe a week ago now. And he's Premier League, French. People still use him to link up cards. You've got Heung-min Son, who's still very usable. You've got that new Thomas card, the objective card that everyone seems to be hyping about. So again, Lloris was a card we bought into. But what else did I do this week? I bought tons of silvers. Because I know they're no risk. Like, you're literally paying $250 a card. So I bought 250 of them. 250 cards because I've got no risk in them. I know I'm going to make profit out of them. So I'm trying to find the methods at the moment that don't have that level of risk or that level of stress when you're sitting there going, I'm about to lose 10k a card. It's not going to happen on the silvers. So that's how you're going to stop yourself making massive losses, is look for those sort of things. Donnarumma, he's not going to make me massive profit, or Lloris, but I'm not going to lose coins from them, and that's all that really matters. That's the only aim I have in this game, is to not lose coins. So that's basically what you guys need to be looking at. This is EA are out to steal your coins. I can't stress this enough. You've got to adapt the way you're trading, okay? You've got to join the website. If you are already paying to trade somewhere else, I guarantee you it will change the way you trade on this game. It's as simple as that. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. But for now, I'm out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.